CNN, Russia will be at war with NATO if Ukraine long-range missile restrictions are lifted, Putin warns, and it's sounding like they're going to do it. I think it was Trudeau who just came out and said he's in favor of lifting the restrictions.
Yeah, and it was the UK. It was Keir Starmer.
So bad. Keir Starmer and Trudeau for sure, though, right?
I don't know about Trudeau. I only know about Keir Starmer. I'd believe Trudeau because he's such a little pansy man, but
I believe Keir Starmer because then Russia was like, get out of here, British diplomats.
It was Starmer.
Trudeau supports...
I'm not surprised.
Ukraine striking Russia as U.S.-UK leaders talk weapons.
Well, who's running the country?
Trudeau
for
says
the
Ukraine
United
can
States?
strike... here we go. Says can strike deep into Russia with NATO arms. Putin hints at war.
Yeah, so
hope it was worth it, everybody. Hope it was worth it for all of you.
This is something, though, going right back to the beginning when you had Joe Biden say he made several promises. One was that U.S. weapons, NATO weapons, would not be used to strike deep into Russia. We wouldn't be sending tanks, no F-16s. He promised, I think, no cluster bombs. And then there was another one. What was the other one? No U.S. troops on the ground. Well, we have guys in Ukraine already. We have
actual special forces.
Actual special forces. We have, even though Kamala Harris said during the debate that we don't have anybody in an active war zone, that was a huge, giant lie. We used the cluster bombs. The tanks got sent. The F-16s. This is really the last one. This is the last one.
Well,
the last promise. And Putin at the beginning said, he said at one point, if you are backing Ukraine and giving them weapons, we're not going to take that as a sign of war. But if your weapons strike us inside Russia, we will take that as a sign of war.
But I am kind of at the point where I'm starting to wonder whether or not Russia could actually retaliate, because this is not the first time we've questioned this on the show. Mm-hmm. Russia keeps saying the red line is there, and then the NATO crosses it, and then he backs up and says, well, the red line is there, and he's not doing anything.
Yeah, Nord Stream pipeline, obviously, the drone attack at the Kremlin. I mean, all of these things have pointed to the fact that we have been doing this. I mean, I just think it's becoming more overt. So I think that,
The drone attacks were massive. I think weren't there
there was like
civilians
a
and
woman
things
was killed the other day.
So they have been obviously the Nord Stream. Originally they said Russia, because Putin's such a madman, he blew up his own pipeline because he wanted to freeze out the Germans in the wintertime. Like, it just was such an unbelievable farce.
Right.
So we have been doing these things, and I almost think it's just purely rhetoric. Like, you talk about World War III, talk about the timing before the election. Before the show, we were talking about October surprise, like what will they do? And I think October surprise could very well be World War III. And we've already been in this thing where, like, we're fighting and doing things that are against what we're saying. But now I think they just, like, legitimize it in the media. Now we're at war with Russia, so we all need to come together behind our wartime leader, Kamala Harris, for the future sake of humanity. And they always say, like, if you're at war, the country comes more together, and all that other nonsense, during the George Bush time. Do you think
that a World War III beginning would be a benefit for Kamala Harris's chances of winning the election?
Well, I think it's crazy to me how much people still believe the Ukraine lie. Like, at the beginning, like in 2022, I remember I was talking about that, and people were saying that I was crazy. At the time I was running for Congress, 2022. I went on Tucker and I was talking about the Ukraine thing, and I got all this hate mail for speaking badly about Ukraine. You're a Republican. We stand against the Russians and this. And I'm just like, no, it's a total scam. I mean, Ukraine is nothing more than it's a satellite for, CIA and the, things that we fund overseas. So, Ukraine is just a corrupt hellhole dating back to 2014 when Newland and these people overthrew the, duly elected government there. And it's just been on the decline ever since. So they're using it to get the war done. It's just a proxy, So I think they're going to start the war. Kamala's going to look like a wartime leader. Oh, Kamala! Look! You say
she could look like a wartime leader?
We're going to try everything.
Well, I wonder if they're trying to provoke a more direct conflict with Putin just before an election
to make her look tough.
I wonder if Putin is trying to avoid escalating the conflict because he's hoping Trump wins.
Interesting.
That too. I think.
Why do you think he would rather have Trump win over Kamala Harris?
Trump's going to try and stop the war overnight.
So you think that would...
Kamala Harris is the deep state. She's going to say fires
to get
and
out of this war at this point, but he doesn't
No. Putin wants to take the territory of Ukraine.
I just got a text message from somebody in Russia. They said I have to play this right now.
All right, come on. Vladimir Putin wants to take the Donbass. He wants to take the land bridge. He wants to seize back. He wants to maintain control of that whole region because Sevastopol is a massive industrial center, access to the Black Sea. Trump wants the war to stop. the deep state wants to crush Russia and wipe them out. The deep state shutting Russia down in the Black Sea cuts off a major source of their economy, a major function of their economy with oil and transport through the Black Sea into the Mediterranean. So this is what Russia, they're going to take Ukraine. That you're not going to stop them so long as it's the case. Trump winning is him going, what do we have to do to end the war? Putin says, here are my demands. Trump says, I don't want World War III, literally don't care, whatever. And so that's why the media has maintained, and the Democrats, Trump is giving Putin what he wants.
And there was a deal in place before all this. Like, it was Boris Johnson and it was Biden who were like stifling the progress. I mean, literally, you had images of Putin and Zelensky meeting together, and everyone says RFK Jr. actually exposes it very well, like the deal that they signed. I think it's called Minsk Accords, right? Is that what you pronounce it? They had a deal on the table, and Boris Johnson and Biden at the time, or Biden's people, were squashing it. So
the West wants to eviscerate the economy of Russia to weaken them as a global player.
Well, aren't they running out of soldiers at this point? I mean, the fact that they're recruiting like 60-year-olds to fight, well, aren't both sides running out?
Russia?
Ukraine is
both of them.
Ukraine.
I think Russia
Ukraine's recruiting young women.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not great.
And old men.
Did you see the video of like an autistic soldier?
Sorry. Conscripting.
But did you see that they have like people with autism on the front lines?
Yeah, in Ukraine. Yeah, the Ukrainian
You're
soldiers.
just being ableist. You're so rude.
Actually, people with autism probably are good soldiers, but that's neither here nor there. It's just very scary.
I think the Democrats may be thinking we need to provoke this war for escalation as part of the election, or at the very least, initiate a conflict to which Trump can't negotiate his way out of. So that way it's forced. And Putin might be like, once Trump gets in, I'll be able to negotiate.
It's kind of like COVID. I mean, when did COVID start? Conveniently, when Trump was on his way to a resounding re-election, the economy was humming, everything was good, no new wars, and they dropped COVID, and all they talked about in the debates was COVID, 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 COVID. It's like there's so much more.
Well, the funny thing about
now they want it to be World War III.
The funny thing about COVID was that when the story first broke, you'd get demonetized for talking about it.
Yeah, that's right.
That was weird. I remember it was January of 2020, and this Wuhan thing happened. I made a video about it, demonetized, and my YouTube rep was like, "We don't want anyone talking about this. It's fear mongering, blah blah blah," or something like that. And then 3 months later, it was, okay, now you can talk about COVID.
Well, and it was, if you talk about it like it's not a big deal, now you get demonetized.
Yeah. Now it's the most serious thing ever.
Like
it was weird.
The super switch. Yeah.
It was so intense.
I remember because I had I had a little file of stories, and I was like, once this stupid COVID thing blows over, I'll do all these stories.
Yeah.
And I never did any of the stories because it never blew over.
That could very well be the World War III. Like, they're timing it up. Obviously, war is a little bit different than a flu. So I think they wait. They might start that. The country's at war. It's all people talk about. They put the machine in thing. They make Kamala the president. Biden steps down in exchange for Hunter Biden, being let off on whatever he just pled guilty to. I mean, you can see that happening. And they're like, oh, Kamala is the first woman president. Look how strong she is. Madam President. And then they ride that propaganda into November. I think that's, certainly
I think
not
Americans would face a confidence crisis if Kamala Harris suddenly had to take over for Joe Biden and we were on the brink of World War III.
You think
I don't think people think that she is strong enough, like, as a personality to handle that kind of thing. I think they want to like her. They want a woman president. They want to be progressive. But ultimately, the base fear that she doesn't have it would win out.
Yeah, but Hannah Claire, right now, everybody knows that Joe Biden's not running the country. Everybody will basically admit that we don't have a president now.
So who would handle it?
I think they would be happy with
if we broke.
I think right now people aren't happy with Joe Biden. Democrats didn't want to vote for him, and I think that they want to feel the cultural and societal pressure to like Kamala Harris, but I don't think she does. Otherwise, they would have her everywhere. They would put her on every interview. She would go on whatever the current equivalent of Oprah is. They would never, ever be anywhere, but you would see her kissing all of the babies. And instead, she's sort of cloistered away, and they bring her out every once in a while when they can super control the environment.
She's less likable than Hillary, and that's saying something.
Right.
I don't know about that. I mean,
it's close. It's close.
Hillary's bad.
I thought Hillary's speech at the convention was better than Kamala's.
Oh, Hillary's bad.
I mean, it's a low bar, but like
Lolita Express, and you're looking to, we don't want to say some other stuff, but yeah, I mean, Hillary's very unlikable. And those pantsuits aren't very flattering, and
Kamala wears the pantsuits too.
I know,
and she wears the dark drab colors. I mean,
she looked kind of good at the debate though. Like she had her neck done. I'm saying she looked like
I think she did do something to her neck. But I mean, Nikki Haley would have been out there in Coach pumps and a
Nikki Haley's
skirt,
attractive.
Yeah, she looks better.
But Nikki Haley, when she talks, her teeth don't move, but her lips do.
Yeah, that's weird.
I've never noticed that, but I believe it.
When she talks like this. Her lips are moving, but her teeth are not. And I'm like, I don't know. I just can't. People are like, Tim, stop commenting on a woman's appearance or whatever. But I'm like, but I noticed that because it's like
You comment on everybody's appearance.
Well, no. This is the Uncanny Valley, right? So you guys know what the Uncanny Valley is?
Of course, yeah. It's like how they can't make AI exactly like
No. They can. The issue is that there's this scale of anxiety when you have on the far left of the graph you have total cartoons, and on the far right you have perfect realism. When you have a cartoon character, we're totally fine. We have no anxiety. We're like, whatever, cartoons are fine. Then you're getting more and more realistic as you move to the right. Then you get this advanced CGI, and anxiety and like comfortability drops all the way to the bottom. Something about a human being that is slightly not correct gives us fear and anxiety, and that's the Uncanny Valley. And then the reason it's called the Valley is because once you get back into totally realistic robotics or CGI, people go back to being comfortable. And so there's a funny meme about it. They said the Uncanny Valley implies that at some point in human evolution there were beings that looked almost just like humans but were somewhat off, and they were a threat to humans, resulting in this anxiety response.
That's fascinating. I want to read a book about that.
Pull that up. Well,
I want to read
the point is when I see Nikki
speculative
Haley and I'm watching her on
fiction
TV and her
novel
mouth,
about
her lips are moving, but her teeth don't move at all. It's like,
She's a lizard creature.
Well, we're
I don't know
worried
about
about
that,
AI, and I've said this on the show before. All these telecommunication companies, they spend billions of dollars in research trying to make it so when we call a call center that we think we're speaking to a human, and they actually do tests on how long it takes for a human to realize they're talking to a robot, and humans can always figure it out, Tim. Like, they still have not perfected that technology where we can have a conversation with a robot, and we
Isn't that the Turing test?
I think that's what it's called. But I'm saying we can always. Sometimes it takes a minute to figure out it's a robot, but we always eventually figure out.
okay, so here you go, right? Affinity and human likeness. So you can see like industrial robots, people are like, whatever, I don't care. And then if it's moving, a humanoid robot, you're like, oh wow, this is really cool, I like it. But once it gets too like a zombie, it's like a corpse. It's too close to being real, and people are like, and then once you get to a healthy person, you're like, okay, I'm feeling better now, and that's the Uncanny Valley. And so the meme about it is that something existed in the period of human evolution that was a facsimile of humans, but were a threat to them, and so we generated a fear response to it.
Yeah, I love that theory. I want to read a speculative fiction book about that time period in human evolution with the scary not people.
Scary not people.
I think that would be a really good story.
I'm looking at the
It'd be
Ban
fascinating.
Raku puppet. These things are freaky.
Yeah, I just had to
as
Google
hell.
that too.
Yeah, these are.
Oh
weird
yeah,
as
yeah.
hell.
Those are weird.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, AI is obviously a huge threat. These AI memes, you brought that up earlier, Mike. Do we like the AI memes? I mean, I guess I'd like to see AOC in a thong or whatever they do. I think that's kind of entertaining, but I don't know if I really do like them if they're as good as like a normal meme.
It's gonna get nuts. It's crazy to me that we're already these AI videos of the cats marching as soldiers with weapons. Dude, the AI video a year ago was it looked like a nightmare. Mm-hmm. It looked like
Will Smith eating pasta.
Yeah, I know.
It's like,
Now, just some random guy like cats with guns marching, and then you get it, and they're wearing MAGA hats. The crazy thing is how fast AI was able to figure out language. Because a year ago, you couldn't get words. You'd be like, make me a book cover, and it would say like, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Now it's perfect. Now you can go on Grok and say, make me a picture of a cat holding a Trump sign, and it does. So we are a year or two away from procedurally generated movies. It's going to be crazy.
And it's a huge problem, I think, in elections because a lot of people who are on the older side see it online, they see it on Facebook, and they think these things are real. I mean, I've had it happen where people send things and they're like, "Oh, this is whatever," and I saw this on Facebook, and it's AI, it's not real, but they don't quite get it. I think that's unbelievable.
Thanks for watching this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe, and we'll see you all there.